What's going on, YouTube? What's going on, man? I told y'all I would be back today to talk AMD earnings. I did indeed play AMD earnings, as I told you yesterday I would. And they had a strong earnings report. They had a strong earnings report, but yet and still the stock dropped, And of course, I got bill put on me. I had a small position open, a very small position. I played earnings one contract that was only worth about $900. I'm up 15K on the month so far, and it's only the fourth. So small loss, small loss. We won't trip about that. But let's go over these earnings a little bit, and then we'll talk a little bit about what led up to the earnings and market reaction and all that kind of stuff. So, okay, AMD. This is Q3 earnings report. So revenue, the street had them estimated at 8.74 billion. They reported 9.25 billion, which is a beat, up 36% year over year, 20% quarter over quarter. Adjusted EPS, which we talked about. EPS is just a pretty much a metric that gives you an idea of a company's profitability. They street had them at $1.17. They came in at 120, which is up 30% year over year. So we have another beat there. CapEx, the street had them at 220 million. They came in at 258 million. So they spent a little more on CapEx, which was a small miss, not bad in my eyes. Q4 guidance. This is guidance for the next quarter. Um, Revenue, the street had them at 9.21 billion. They estimated 9.3 to 9.9 billion, which was another beat. That would be up 25% year over year. Their adjusted gross margins, the street had them estimated at 54.5%, and they guided 54.5%. So they came in, matching what the street estimated. So that's okay. Um, so let's go into a little bit about their business segments, which is data centers, clients, and gaming, um, and their embedded segment. Data centers, very strong demand, showing there. They guided 4.3 billion, up 22% year over year, and client the gaming, up 73% year over year for their new Ryzen chip, which was 4 billion in gaming, up 181% on their gaming sector, and the embedded they came in at a little miss there, negative 8% year over year, $857 million. So they had a slight miss there. So far, only a slight miss on capex and their embedded segment of their business model. And some key updates. Some key updates. They recorded a quarterly revenue and free cash flow. They had, of course, the new AI and compute partnership with OpenAI that was revealed, as well as Oracle, Cisco, IBM, G42, Vultr, and DigitalOcean. They also introduced their new Helios rack, a scale design in ROCm 7 software, and they expanded their Ryzen and Instinct product portfolios. Some commentary from Dr. Lisa Su, which is the CEO. We delivered record revenue and profitability with broad-based demand across EPYC Ryzen and Instinct AI products. Our strong Q4 outlook marks a clear step up in our growth trajectory as our compute and AI businesses scale rapidly. Some commentary from their CFO, Jin Hu. Recorded free cash flow and disciplined execution reflects the strength of our leadership portfolio, and investments in AI and high performance compute are driving long term growth and value creation. So, if you've been following AMD, you know they've been on absolute fire over the last couple of weeks. So, like I told you, I mentioned it on the pod on Sunday night. I may have mentioned it yesterday, I'm not sure. But let's just look here. Let's look here. So, we talked about the OpenAI deal. This is where AMD was trading pre OpenAI deal. So you see them, kind of ranging in between these two supports, which is about from 167 to about 149. So they kind of ranged here for several days, weeks. They ranged here in this little range. We get the OpenAI deal, and this is where I entered the position that Friday before the OpenAI deal came about. I entered a call, and I was able to take advantage of this massive gap up, and I sold up here at the top. I got 2,700% on that position, which came out to about $20,000. You know, so that was great. So this is this big gap up here, this big run up. It's the OpenAI deal. That's the OpenAI deal. So we formed this big gap here. Still have this gap. We have still yet to fill it. So price could potentially come back down there and get some of that liquidity because there has to be some orders down here. They'll eventually get filled um, at some point. So following that OpenAI deal, they continue to truck along. We are on a daily chart. They continue to truck along, move up, move up, move up, move up, move up, gap up here, still move up, still move up. So let's go back down to the hourly chart. Let me see. So, go to the 4 hour. Okay. So AMD today, yes. So AMD today, gap down. If you were paying attention to pretty much the overall market, um, everybody kind of had a lot of red. We woke up to a lot of red this morning. So they gap down. They gap down. As you can see, they pushed up a little bit up to about 257. Um, heading into earnings, they pushed up to about 257. Started to drop a little bit going into earnings, and here's where it got sticky. So earnings came out. Price tried to push up a little bit. Price tried to push up a little bit. I believe this is the earnings candle, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is the earnings candle. Um, Price tried to push up. Price tried to push up. Sellers were not having it. Pushed us right back down. And so far as you can see, we're still currently falling. We're still currently falling. And I knew this was a possibility, even though I played earnings. I thought that AMD is overextended, in my opinion. As much as I love AMD, me personally, I don't think they should be trading higher than NVIDIA. So I knew if they didn't have a very, very, very spectacular earnings report, great guidance, no misses, I knew there was a chance that, the market could use this as an opportunity to sell off and some people take some profits. And that's exactly what we see, um, them selling off. So that's where we're at with AMD. We'll see if we can hold this support here around 243 level. We'll see if we can hold the support or for the breakthrough. Um, we'll see. We'll see the mark. We'll see, over the next couple of hours, and we'll see what happens in pre-market in the morning. But didn't go well for AMD. I had that small position going into earnings, just playing earnings a little bit. Didn't lose too much, so I'm not I'm not upset. I've made a lot of money on AMD over the last 30 days. So that's what happened with AMD. I got belt put on me playing earnings. I told you on the pod. It's not safe. It's not safe. We had a lot of misses today. SMCI also missed on earnings. Tempest AI also missed on earnings. But let's get into something else. Let's get into something else. Amazon. Amazon is a play that I took yesterday. It's a play that I took yesterday. So let's go over. We see this chart. Let's go over this. Let's go over this. So Amazon, this is their earnings candle that they had. Their earnings candle. Their earnings came out. Very good earnings. Very good earnings. Let me see if I still have those notes in my phone to go over. I may not. I may not have them. Yeah, I don't think I still have them. I don't think I still have them. But they had a very strong earnings. They had a very strong earnings, and as you see, as a result of that, they ran up big to the upside. I also had a position open. Didn't necessarily play earnings on Amazon. I already had that position open, so I was able to take advantage of all of this run up as well on Amazon. So that was great. Very big W for me. Very big W. And after the earnings, they kind of broke down a little bit, start to trade down. And this candle you see here is Amazon's OpenAI partnership announcement. Same that we seen over there at AMD when they had their big run up. So they ran up again. They ran up again. And I was watching it that day. I was watching it and I noticed that, once you got up here around this 258, 260, 257 level, that they were facing a lot of resistance. They were facing a lot of resistance. So I watched this candle. They came down. This next candle closed. This candle closed. The next candle opened. They tried to push up a little more, but the sellers wasn't having it. So I said, okay, we have a double top here. We have a double top. I didn't even wait till the double top completely formed. Once I seen that, I seen this wick here on this candle, and I seen this candle tried to go up. Sellers wasn't having it. They pushed it down again. I seen the double top forming. I said, okay, I'm taking puts. I took puts here, and as you can see, we started to trade down. Um, didn't go down much, during intraday, during the day yesterday. We kind of, as low as we went, we kind of sat on top of this box that I have marked here. And then after hours is when we started to break down into the box. And then, pre-market, we gapped down again, going further deeper into the pullback. And I was able to get out this morning um on this candle because price started to push up before market open, but I was able to get out kind of at the bottom here. I was able to get out kind of at the bottom here. And then so that was great execution. I caught AMD, I caught Amazon on the way up and on the way down. And here we like to show receipts. We like to show receipts. We all about transparency here. So I'll show you the Amazon play. And what I'll do is I'll start showing you guys more plays, going forward. Start showing you guys more plays going forward as we talk about them, and you'll be able to see, how I executed. And I had an NVIDIA position open that I opened maybe a month ago. I opened that position about a month ago. At one point, ran up to about $4 or $5,000 in profit. I didn't sell. I was in when we ran up to about 212. Didn't sell. I was up when we ran up yesterday to about I think we got up to about 210, 211 yesterday. Didn't sell again, because I seen them going higher, but we got the short news, on them and Palantir. So, it caused some pullback. Caused some pullback. So this morning when we got ready to break below, I think I had my level set at about 201, 202. So when we broke, yes. So this is where we were at this morning. When when we got this wick down below this support zone, which was a pretty good support for a while. So when we broke below that, I said, okay, it's time to get out of position. I got out of position. It was a good thing I did because as you can see, they continued to drop, you know, significantly. And they also have earnings coming up. So I got out of the position that I currently had to protect my gains, and then I re-entered, and of course I'm down on that. I'll probably average down, because I do believe that, they should have a good earnings as well. But I have contracts out on them to next year, so I don't feel bad holding that. But I'll show you these gains real quick. Amazon today, Amazon, as you can see, let it you see the Amazon and you see the NVIDIA on the bottom. Yeah. So we show receipts. Those are the two trades I had today. Amazon and NVIDIA. Amazon, I have 40 contracts. My cost for those contracts was $11,506.75. I ended up getting out of the position with that cost basis, or not cost basis, with the total contracts being worth $17,173.25. So a profit of $5,000, $666.50 on my Nvidia. I wish I would have sold yesterday again, but we can't see the future. That short news came out in the market pullback. I was able to get out. I only had three contracts, and that cost basis was $5,118.01. Got out with the contracts being worth $7,497.99. So had a profit of $2,379.98. I lost a lot of profit by not selling yesterday at those highs, but I thought they would keep going. But the um, my management of my portfolio had to kick in. I always said, because I got in Nvidia down here. I got into play down here. So I was able to run it up all the way up here, didn't sell. came back down. Touched this level once before, it didn't break below, so I said, okay, I'll hold. Kind of range a little bit. Came up. This was yesterday. We hit here, did not sell. And I was kicking myself a little bit. I was kicking myself a little bit for not selling. We gap down. Of course, I get out before we break below, the support I had. So it is what it is. We protected the portfolio, this portfolio that I started almost 2 months ago now with about I think it was about $4 to $5,000. I started it. And now that portfolio hit 62,000 at peak today. I won't show you because of course I got some sensitive information on it, but now that portfolio is now at $60,601.86 in a little under 2 months. So hey man, the goal is 80,000 to 100,000 by the end of the year. And so far, so good. We are tracking very nicely. But that's what it is. That's what it is. Got some belt put on me today, but I also put belt on Amazon and NVDA. We made money to the downside. We made money to the upside. And that's what it is, man. We'll be back in the market. We'll be back in the market tomorrow to see if we have any opportunities. I'm sure we will. As much red as I'm seeing, I'm sure we'll have some opportunities. Let me look at Palantir while I'm here because that is a stock that I am very interested in taking a position on. The lower they get, the higher my conviction goes to take a position on them. For sure below 190, and they're trading at 185.95 right now. So Palantir tomorrow, I might take a position on them. May take a position on them, put it out sometime in 2026. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But that's what it is. That's all I got for y'all today, man. Let me know in the comments, man. Did you play AMD earnings? What did you think about the earnings? These OpenAI deals. We're gonna be talking on the pod about the OpenAI deals and Sam Altman. My co-host. He ain't really too sold on all these deals that OpenAI is throwing around. Me, I have a little bit different perspective on it. And also, this whole short situation on Palantir and Nvidia on them being a bubble. We had some clarification on that, from Michael Burry, however you say his name. He clarified, he says he's short, not necessarily on AI or the companies. He's short on these companies' valuations as it pertains to AI. So we're gonna be talking about that on the pod, deep diving into, those two topics a little bit and getting into, a couple of more topics. So that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate you for tuning in, and I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Maybe tomorrow. Who knows? Might be busy. Appreciate you.